Hello students, good evening and welcome to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. This is Miss Surya, your chemistry faculty from Infinity Learn. So those who are watching this particular session, please mark your attendance here. And I believe I am perfectly audible and visible to everyone. So in this section, we are directly moving to the main part of the organic compounds or the carbon and its compounds, that the IUPAC nomenclature of the compounds. So yesterday we had just gone through the topic isomerism. So after completing the session, just revise the isomerism also. We will be discussing isomerism in the next class also. So I think we can start the session now. So these are the contents we are going to discuss in today's class. We will be starting from the rules of IUPAC system, then the classification of organic compound into alkenes, alkenes and alkynes. Then we have seen some functional groups also like alcohol, aldehyde, ketone and carboxylic acid. Let's start with the nomenclature through the IUPAC, Nomenclature of Carbon Compounds. As you already know, the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, that is IUPAC or IUPAC, is the organization which gives name for the carbon compounds. So this is there will be some rules to calculate or find out the name of particular compounds. So let's see one by one. What is the first step in the IUPAC nomenclature? So here is the first step. What we need to do, we need to find out the longest carbon chain. Whenever we are giving any of the organic compound, in order to name the compound first we need to check the first longest chain, right? Longest chain in the carbon compound. So for example, if I am taking the first compound given here, right? This is the first compound given here. What you are observing, this is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. So if we are counting the number from here, it will be 1, 2, 3 and 4, which means that this is a 4 carbon compound, right? This will be the longest chain in this compound, 4 carbon compound or longest chain in this compound. Similarly, if you are taking the second compound, we can say that there will be 2 carbon atoms present, right? So this is the longest chain with 2 carbon atoms. And for the last case, what you are observing, this is our compound, right? So if you are taking from here, we can say that this will be the longest chain with 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbon, right? 8 carbon. So what is our first step? We need to find out the longest carbon chain in the compound. That will determine the base name of the compound. Okay, I hope you understand. So in order to give the name of the compound, we need to memorize some of the terms for the basic naming here. So it indicates the root word. Root word means depending upon the number of carbon atoms, we need to give some name for the compound. So it indicates the basic carbon skeleton. Basic carbon skeleton, that is the number of carbon atoms present in the longest continuous chain in an organic compound. Hi Carlo, good evening. Okay, in the case of general compounds, our root word will be alk. Let's see in detail. So here we need to memorize some terms depending upon the carbon numbers, how we can find out the root word. This is very important in order to write down the nomenclature of carbon compounds. So what you are observing here, if any of the organic compound which is containing only one carbon atom, we can give the root word or the root name as the meth. Meth stands for 1 carbon. Similarly for C2 carbon, 2 carbon atoms are present, it will be eth. Then for 3 prop, for 4 it will be but, pen, hex, hept, octanon, dec. This is for the root word for the number of carbon atoms here. Hi Arush, good evening. We have just started the IUPAC nomenclature here. So what we need to do, IUPAC is the organization which is giving the nomenclature, naming for the organic compounds. So what we are doing here, we need to go through the one by one step, right? Steps one by one. So here is our first step. If we are giving any of the organic compound, what we need to do first we need to find out the longest chain. For example, if you are taking the 3 compounds, right? This is our first compound. So what you're observing, we need to find out the longest chain, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 4 carbon longest chain. Arush, are you getting my point? Yes. Then if you are asking about the second compound, what you are observing? 2 carbon, right? 2 carbon, that will be the longest chain in the second compound also. Then what you are observing here in the third compound? We need to find out the longest chain, right? So I am starting from here. It will be, seems like that 8 carbon compound. That will be the longest chain in the case of this compound. So whenever you are asking about the IUPAC nomenclature of the compound, you need to find out which one is the longest chain. Clear? This is our first step. The next one, based on the number of carbon atoms, we can find out the root word. So there is a table for that. If you are containing only one carbon atom, the root word for the particular compound will be meth. Meth stands for 1 carbon, H stands for 2 carbons, prop for 3 carbon, and but for 4 carbon, pen for 5 carbon, and so on. So this is a 20 carbon atoms ka details. Clear? So this table is very important. At least you need to have an idea about the root word for the first 10 carbons. Meth, eth, prop, but, pen, hex, hept, octanol, and dec. Okay, I hope you understand. Now, the next step is about the suffix. Suffix means after root word we are adding some terms. That is our suffix. Depending upon the bonds, I think. So here we need to focus about 2 types of degree of saturation. Here, in the case of carbon compounds or the organic compounds, we can be divided these carbon compounds into two or three types, right? If the compounds is having only single bonds, so this is a classification of the organic compounds mainly based on the number of bonds. So if any of the compound which is containing only single bonds, they are known as the saturated compounds. Right? So what about the second case? It is the double bonds. If any of the compound which is containing either double bond or triple bond, they are commonly known as the unsaturated compounds. Clear? Unsaturated compound. So based on the number of bonds, we can call this as the saturation, degree of saturation. If you are having only single bonds, they are called the saturated compounds. If you are having double or triple bonds, it is known as the unsaturated compound. So based on that, we can add the suffix for the compounds. Clear? So this is the table. So what you are observing here, if the compound is containing only single bond or one bond, its suffix will be, primary suffix will be ANE. Just memorize the things, we will be discussing later. For single bond only, it will be known as it is having the suffix of ANE. For example, if you are taking any of the compound, it will be having alkane, right? In the case of all the carbon compounds, our word root will be ALK, right? ALK. If it is having only a single bond, it will be alkane. If it is having double bond, it will be alkene. The suffix will be ENE. Only small difference is there, but the structure-wise it is a very huge difference is there, right? So the naming of here in the case of 3 bond, if it is containing 3 bond, it will be, suffix will be YNE or called as alkyne. Is that clear? Arush, in order to get the IUPAC nomenclature of the compound, you will get the structure first. Then only you can identify the IUPAC nomenclature of the compound. We can explain with the examples here. Then you will get an idea about that. Clear? In a structural formula, if you are containing only single, double or triple bond, we can name the suffix as ANE, ENE and YNE respectively. Clear? Hi programmer Carlo, I didn't completed the acid base salt. I think Sushmita ma'am has already completed the chapter in this channel. I have completed the practice questions from the acid bases and salts. Arush, I'm just giving idea about the rules which is followed by the IUPAC. We can discuss with an example. Then you will get a great idea about that. So one more point, if it is containing two double bond, it will be having the primary suffix of a-diene, which means alka-diene. Similarly, if you are having two triple bonds, it will be having the suffix of triene, a-triene or alka-triene. Just memorize. So I hope you understand. Now let me move to the next case. This is the another term in the case of suffix. If you are taking, for example, if I am taking a compound like this, CH4. How many carbon atoms are present here? How many carbon atoms are present here? One carbon, right? So this is the one carbon compound. If I am writing the structure for this compound, CH4, carbon is having 4 valency. So these 4 valencies are satisfied with the 4 hydrogen atoms. So this will be the structure for CH4 molecule. Then what will be the IUPAC name for this compound? One carbon, what will be the root word? What will be the IUPAC name for these compounds? CH4. What is our first step? We need to find out the longest in. Here only one carbon is present, so this will be the one carbon compound. So what will be the root word for first carbon? Meth, right? Yes, for one carbon it is meth. So what I need to do here? Root word will be meth only. Then what will be the suffix? Only single bonds are present. Only single bonds are present. So what will be the primary suffix here? A-N-E, right? A-N-E. So it will be methane or methane. Is that clear? Is the thing clear to you? How to write down the IUPAC name for this particular compound? So this will be methane, right? Okay, this is only in the case of single bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4 single bonds, right? Only single bonds are present, so it will be A-N-E. Suffix will be A-N-E. Only one carbon compound, so it will be methane. So the next point I need to talk about this like that. If I am changing one of the hydrogen atom from the alkane, right? This will be alkene minus hydrogen atom. For example, this is our methane, right? This is our methane. So what I am doing? I am just removing one of the hydrogen atom from the CH4 molecule. So it will be forming one hydrogen atom is removing here and the remaining part will be attached to any other compound. So this will be one compound and this will be the one term in which hydrogen atom is deleting from the alkane. So for them the suffix will be YL, which means this is the one obtained from the methane. So one carbon compound meth only, but suffix will be changed to methyl. Is that clear? Hi Chauhan, good evening. Is that clear? Just let me know. So generally it is known as the alkyl group. If I am deleting hydrogen atom from alkene, it will be forming alkyl. YL will be the suffix. Then if I am taking alkene, then I am just deleting one hydrogen atom from there. It will be having the suffix of ENYL or alkynyl. Alkynyl. Then if I am taking from the alkyne, if I am deleting a hydrogen atom from the alkyne, it will be having the primary suffix of YNYL or alkynyl. Okay, I hope you understand. Yes, in order to do the IUPAC nomenclature, you need to memorize these table. This table is very important. At least you need to have an idea about root word for first 10 carbon atoms from meth to duck. Now these general terms are not in the periodic table. It is from the IUPAC nomenclature. IUPAC rules only. Periodic table is different case. Fine. So that is about the primary suffix. Similarly, we need to add the secondary suffix also. So what you are observing here in the case of secondary suffix, I have already mentioned in the last class, there will be some functional groups, right? Like hydroxy group, carboxylic acid group, there will be some functional groups. Whenever these particular groups are present in the compound, they will be giving some particular functions to the compound, right? Functions to the compound, that is why they are on the functional groups. For example, OH group or COOH group. So if any of the compound which is having any functional group, we need to add the, after the primary suffix, we need to add the secondary suffix, right? After the primary suffix, we need to add the secondary suffix as the name of functional groups. No need to worry here, we will be discussed with the examples. So for example, the secondary suffix for the functional groups of OH and CHO. OH means this is a hydroxy group, right? So OH means this is a hydroxy group. It will give the compound to an alcohol property. Alcohol property. Alcohol. So the remaining two words OL will be the suffix for the OH group. Are you getting my point? Similarly, there is another compound known as, another functional group known as CHO group or aldehyde group, right? Aldehyde group. For this compound is known as alkanal. Clear? Alkanal. So Al will be the suffix for the CHO group. You need to memorize more things here to get the idea about the IUPAC nomenclature. Clear? So for example, if I am giving an example here. So what will be the name of this compound? What is our first step? We need to find out the longest chain, right? Longest chain containing carbon atoms only. So if I am asking about this compound, what will be the longest chain in this compound? So this will be the longest chain, right? 1, 2, 3. So how many carbon atoms are present? 3 carbon atoms. What is the root word for 3 carbon atom? Root word for 3 carbon atom given in the table. 3 carbon prop, right? So this will be prop. So what you're observing here, an OH group is attached to the propane, right? OH group is attached to the propane. This is a part of propane, right? One of the hydrogen atom from the propane is changed to form OH here. So it will be propane. For example, if I'm taking here propane plus the suffix for OH will be OL, right? All. So it will be propanol. Is that clear? Arush? Chauhan, is that clear now? Just let me know in the comments. Then only we can move to the next step. IUPAC nomenclature is very important in the case of basis of carbon compounds. Arish, what is your doubt? What is the name of this compound? CH3, CH2, CH3. What is the name of this compound? 3 carbon compound, right? Only single bonds are present. So it will be 3 means prop. Root word will be prop. Single bonds are present. So suffix will be ane, right? Yes, while we are finding the longest chain, hydrogen atoms are also present in the longest chain. We need to consider the carbon name. I mean, what is the carbon number here? I am starting from here only. I am not starting from here. Because it is hydrogen atom. This is carbon atom. Starting from carbon atoms only. So, this will be 3 carbon compound. So, what about here? It will be 3 carbon compound. The word root will be prop. Only single bonds are present. So, suffix will be propane. ane, right? Suffix will be propane. So, what I am doing here, one of the hydrogen atom from this part, right? One of the hydrogen atom from this part is changed by OH group. OH group. Clear? So, OH means hydroxy group. It has a property of alcohol. So, what I am doing? Propane plus alcohol, which means propane plus all, or the compound name will become propanol. Is that clear? In order to explain the nomenclature of alcohol group, I changed this as a OH. Okay, I hope you understand, because the example is given here for the functional group of OH. I explained here, I thought you didn't understand, that's why I repeated here also. Yes, Arush, you are correct. But it is not necessary to from right to left or left to right. It depends on the priority of the groups. So, if you are asking about only the single chain, we can start from either left or right. But here, the thing is that OH group has more priority. There will be some priority order for different functional groups. In order to answer this question, you must have idea about that OH group. If any of the compound is having OH group, the first preference will be go to the carbon attached to the OH group. So, I will be starting from here only. So, 1, 2, 3, which means from right to left, right? Right towards left. It is not mandatory to start from right to left or left to right, depending upon the functional group attaching to the compound. It will be changes. So, here it will be start from right to left, because OH is the more priority group, more prioritized group. So, the OH group is attached to the least number of carbon, which means first carbon. Is that clear? Okay, there will be some priority order group depending upon the functional group. If possible, I will explain in this class only. Otherwise, I will explain the next class also. First, you must have idea about the functional group. What are the different types of functional groups? Then only you can go with the priority order. Okay, I hope you understand how to write down the name of a hydroxy group or alcohol group. Now again, instead of alcohol or aldehyde, there will be other some functional groups also present, like side chains, right? So what you're observing here, atoms or groups of atoms such as halo. Halo means halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. This is the general halogens which is used in the carbon compounds or organic compounds. Then this is the NO2 group known as nitro group. If it is NO group, it will be nitroso group. If it is OR group, it is alkoxy group. These are referred to as a substituent. Again, we need to memorize some more terms here. Depending upon the functional group, what will be the name. Nitroso and nitro is very important. NO2 means nitro and NO means nitroso. Clear? So, while writing the name of the compound, what is our first step? We need to first find out the longest chain, right? Longest chain stands for the root word. Before the root word, we need to add some prefix or prefixes. Then after that, primary suffix, depending upon the bond, single, double or triple bond, this will be the primary suffix. Then if it is containing any of the functional group, it will be the secondary suffix. I hope you understand the naming of general compounds. This is another case, let us discuss later. So this is the prefix terms. So if you are taking here as halogen group, halogen stands for fluorine, chlorine, bromine or iodine, any of the halogen group, it will be named as halo group. For example, if you are taking fluorine is one of the substituent there, it will be fluoro, right? If it is fluorine, it will be fluoro. If it is chlorine, it will be chloro. If it is bromine, it will be bromo. For iodine, it will be iodo. Depending upon the halogen we are using, the secondary suffix will be halo or fluoro, chloro, bromo, iodo respectively. Then if I am taking C double bond O, right, C double bond O, there will be specified case if it is keto or oxo. Let's see detail. Then this will be our R molecule. For example, I have given the example of alkyl group, right? From CH4, I am deleting one hydrogen atom, so it will form the alkyl group. This is a deleted from the methane group, so this will be methyl group. Clear? So similarly, if you are having OR group, alkoxy, CN group cyano, COR, alkoxy carbonyl, COX, halocarbonyl. Again, NH2 group means amino group, NH2. Can you remember like this? NH3 is ammonia. We are deleting some hydrogen from there, so it will be NH2 amino. NO2 is very important, it is nitro, and NO is nitroso. Similarly, CHO is formyl, OH is hydroxy. We have repeated, right? Then SO3H is sulfur group, CONH2 is carbonyl group. Again, here also we need to memorize the table only. Now let us start naming for these particular compound. What we need to do first? This is the question asked for naming the compound according to IUPAC. What we need to do first? Yes, find the longest chain, right? Longest chain. So what will be our longest chain here? We can find out the longest chain in any way. We can go like this or go to the straight chain, right? So if I am going like this, first 3 compounds, it will be 3 chain compound, right? It will be 3 chain compound. Is there any other possibility more than 3 carbon? Yes, right? The longest chain, I mean the straight chain will be the longest chain having 4 carbon atoms. Are you getting my point? This will be the longest chain, right? Which means it is having 4 carbon atoms. So what will be the root word? 4 carbon atom in the table. Bute, right? 4 carbon means it will be bute. Then here we need to focus on the priority order. It's not about the CH, we are considering the carbon atoms. So first time I am just starting the numbering from here, right? Left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I am starting here, there will be two possibilities, right? If I am starting from here, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. If I am starting from there, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So what will be the position of this OH group? Which means OH group is attached to which carbon according to the first row. I hope you understand my question. If I am starting from here, right, from here to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, what is the position of this OH group with the carbon? In which carbon it is attached? Third carbon or second carbon? Third carbon, right? So here, if I am taking the from left to right, it will be third carbon. Then if I am taking from that to here, right, from there to 1, 2, 3, 4, position will be second carbon, right? Position will be second carbon. So according to the priority order, whenever we are having the OH group, this OH group should be given the least number among them. Then only we can go through the numbering here, right? So what you are observing here, least number is 2 only, so we can name the compound. We can start the numbering from here only. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the right choice of numbering, not this. Are you getting my point? So this will be the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got the root word, right? 4 carbon compound, root word will be but. Yes, root word will be but. Then this contains only single bonds, right? Do you have any doubt? It is containing only single bonds because hydrogen is forming single bonds with carbon only, not to satisfy the valency of carbon 4. So what you are observing here, there is only single bonds. So what will be our suffix here? ANE, right? Single bonds. Primary suffix will be ANE. Next, we have taught like that for the prefix. If you are having any of the functional group, there will be secondary prefix also. So here, the secondary prefix stands for the functional group OH, right? Arush, what is your doubt? Okay, let me start once again. If you are taking this compound, what do you need to do? First, we need to find out the longest chain. So I am starting from here. So I see that 4 carbons are present. So this will be the 4 carbon compound. No doubt, right? So 4 carbon compound means but. But will be the root word there. Then we need to start the numbering there. There will be two possibilities, right? From my left to right, there will be this possibility. From my right to left, there will be another possibility. So here, which contains about the priority order. If any of the compound that contains OH group, this is a special case in the case of here only. If you are containing OH group, this OH group will be containing least number. Clear? If I am starting from my left to right, it will be having the number of third carbon. If I am starting from this side to here, it will be having the number of 2 only. We need to get the least number for the OH group. So which one is our least number here? 2 only, right? This will be 2 will be our least number here. So I started a numbering from here only. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that clear now? According to IUPAC rule. Okay, I hope Arush you understand now. So this is a least number compound. So we got the root word, we got this primary suffix as ane because of the single bonds, and the secondary prefix is given as OH group, alcohol. So suffix will be OL with position will be second carbon atom. So it will be 2-ol. Then what about our prefix? Prefix means it will be any of the alkyl groups here. Especially in the case of this one is the CH3 group, right? CH3 group is the methyl group. We have seen, right, one hydrogen atom is deleting from the CH4 or methane. So it will be forming alkyl group. So this is the methyl group, right? So this methyl group is attached to the third carbon atom of the compound. Is there any doubt? This CH3 group is attached to the third carbon atom of the compound according to our numbering. So what will be? This will be our suffix, right? I mean this will be our prefix, right? So the final name of the compound will be 3-methyl, which means CH3 group or methyl group is attached to the third carbon atom. So 3-methyl. Then what is the root word? 4 carbon atom compound. So it will be but, right? Then only single bond is present. So the primary suffix will be ane. Then the secondary prefix stands for the functional group. OH is the functional group. Point to the second carbon atom. So it will be 2-ol. What will be our final name of this compound? 3-methyl butan 2-ol. So what you are observing here, in between numbers and words there will be hyphen given according to IUPAC rule. Is that clear, or do you have any doubt in any of the steps? Okay, I hope you understand this thing. So this is the method of naming of particular compound according to the IUPAC nomenclature. Let me give one more example. So just try to find out the IUPAC name of this compound, which is already given here. Just try by your side. First step, find out the longest chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So this is the 6 carbon compound. So what will be our root word? 6 carbon compound. C6 means root word is hex, right? Root word we have given. Then we can see that there will be single bond is also present, along with there is a double bond, right? Are you getting the point? You were asked about the multiple bonds here. So this is the example of multiple bond as about the double bond here. So what we need to do? We need to start the numbering. There will be 2 possibilities, right? One is given here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from my left to right. Then one more possibility is there from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So according to our previous rule, if we are having the OH group, it must be having least priority, least numbering, right? Least numbering. So if we are considering here, according to this rule, it will be 5th position, right? It will be 5th position. That is another case. First start from the basics only, then we can go to advanced level. Arush. Clear? So if I am starting the numbering from here, the OH group is having the numbering of 5 because it is attached to the 5th carbon. So if I am starting the red wala number, right? So it will be having second position of the carbon. So what will be our correct numbering here? According to OH, it will be having the most priority, which means having the least numbering here. So which one is the least number here? 2 or 5? 2 or 5, which one is the least number? 2 only, right? Which means that this numbering is correct. Are you getting my point? 2 or 5, which one is the least number? 2 only, right? here it is the OH group, right? Hydroxy group is having more priority than the double bond. So this priority group will have in the least number here. Least number here. As compared to 5 or 2, 2 is the least number. So we are giving the numbering of OH group as 2, which is attached to the second carbon. So that will be our secondary suffix. Observing here, right? Secondary suffix is 2. OH group is means alcohol. OL will be the suffix here. Right? Then what else here? We are seeing one double bond here, right? We are seeing one double bond here. So as we already mentioned that if you are having double bond, the suffix will be ene, right? Suffix will be ene. When you are discussing about the detailed table of the priority group, then you will get the idea of which one is more prioritized here. Here, by example only, I am giving an idea that OH is more priority. OH is having more priority than the double bond here. Clear? If I am giving the complete table of the priority group, you will get confused over there because we have already 3 or more tables to memorize now. So by examples only, I will give the priority order. Fine? So here a double bond is present. So it will be ENE group. It will be ENE group, right? ENE. So what is the position of this double bond according to this numbering? 3, right? 3 and 4 is present, but we need to focus on the lowest number. Again, it will be 3. Okay, I hope you understand. So this will be the primary suffix, that is 3-ene. 3-ene will be the primary suffix and 2-ol will be the secondary suffix. We have already got the root word as 6-carbon compound, it is hex. Then what is remaining here? What is remaining here? We named the longest chain, we named the double bond here, we named the OH group also. What is remaining here? What is remaining here as a substituent? Can you see one CH3 group is present here? So this will be one CH3 group remaining, that right? So here this CH3 group, we have already seen CH3 group is known as the alkyl or methyl, right? Methyl. We need to mention the position of methyl also. So according to this numbering, this methyl is attached to 5th carbon. Is there any doubt? According to the numbering of these compounds, this methyl group is attached to 5th carbon. So the primary suffix will be 5-methyl. Is that clear? Sorry, primary prefix is the 5-methyl. So what will be the final name of this compound? Prefix. Prefix means alkyl group is attaching, right? So it will be 5-methyl. 5-methyl. 6-carbon compound means root word will be hex. Hex. Then we need to mention the position of double bond as well as OH group. Why I named the alkene group first instead of OH? According to alphabetical order, right? E comes first instead of all, right? According to alphabetical order, A, B, C, D. E will comes first before O. So that's why I write the name here as 3-en first, then 2-ol. So this is the data of prefix. If you are containing any of these compounds in the compound, these components in the compound, it will be given as a prefix name. So in order to get an idea, you need to memorize this table first, right? So this will be the prefix. Suffix we have already mentioned, right? Suffix will be, first primary suffix will be multiple bonds. Single bond, double bond or triple bond. That will be primary suffix. If any of the compound containing functional groups other than the multiple bonds, they will be having the secondary suffix. Clear? Then root word is based on the number of carbon atoms. Is that clear, Arush? as compared to all the 3 other chapters, it is little bit complicated. This is a part of organic chemistry. We are going to discuss in the grade 11 and 12 class. So once the foundation is clear, I mean basics is clear, it will be very easy. We can see many of the organic compounds in the daily life. So I hope you understand these things. Now let us practice some questions. So this is our first question. What is the IUPAC name of CH3, CH2, CH double bond, CH2? Try to find out the IUPAC name of this compound. CH3, CH2, CH double bond, CH2. Note it down, there is a double bond present. So what will be the answer for this question? Longest chain, right? Longest chain will be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon compounds. So, yes, Arush is saying butane and Sankita is saying butene. Let's see what is the answer. Butene is the correct answer. So, why? Why not butane? So, this is the 4 carbon compound, right? 4 carbon compound means root word will be but. Root word will be but. Then, I have already mentioned depending upon the bonds, we need to give the suffix, right? So if you are having only single bonds, they will be giving the suffix as ane. But here one double bond is present, right? One double bond is present. So we need to give the suffix as ene. Is that clear, Arush? If all the bonds are single bond, we can give it as the ane. If any of the compound which is carbon which is containing multiple bonds like double bond, it will be ene. If it is triple bond, we can name this as butane. Clear? So it will take some time to memorize the whole table, then only you will get an idea about the naming of organic compounds. So here butane will be the correct answer. Now let us go to the next question. What is the IUPAC name of CH4? CH4. Only one carbon atom is present. In the table it is given the root word for the first, one carbon compound. Yes, very good. Methane is the correct answer, right? CH4. So if you are writing the structure here, 1 carbon, 4 valencies are satisfied with the hydrogen atom only. So this is the structural formula of the CH4 molecule. Only single bonds are present, right? Only single bonds means it will be having the suffix of ane. 1 carbon compound means met plus ane, methane will be the IUPAC name of this compound. Here is the next question. Try to find the name of this compound. This is the longest compound. Write the IUPAC name of the compound CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. Find out the longest chain. Based on the number of carbons, find out the root word. Then, if they are presenting any of the multiple bonds, find out the suffix. Prefix, suffix also. Sandy, what do you think by seeing carbon compounds? So longest chain is 5 carbon compound, right? 5 carbon compound means what will be the root word? C5 stands for pent, right? The table is very important to find out the root word. So 5 carbon compound means pent. Only single bonds are present. If you write down the structure here, you can say that all the valencies of carbons are satisfied by the single bonds with the hydrogen atoms also. So the suffix will be ane. Clear? So what will be our answer? Pentane, right? So option B, pentane is the correct answer for this compound. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, this is another case about the functional groups. Let us discuss in the next class. It will take some time here. So if I am discussing all the functional groups together, it will be very confusing. So I will just stop up here. I'll just wind up here. So we have just seen the IUPAC name of the normal compounds, right? Normal compounds by the naming of organic compounds. What we need to do first, we need to find out the longest chain compound, right? Then we have given one table for that. In the case of that particular table, depending upon the carbon atoms, we will be finding the root word for that compounds, right? Root word for that compounds. So based on that, we can find out the root word for the compound. So then so this will be the general naming of the compound. Find the primary prefix. Primary prefix means any of the substance like alkyl, halo or any of the group. I have given two examples. Just try by yourself. So root word, depending upon the number of carbon, we will find out the root word like meth, eth, prop and so on. So primary suffix stands for the degree of saturation like double bond or triple bond or single bond. Right? So this will be the primary suffix. Then if you are containing any of the functional group, most commonly it will be having OH group. So it will be given as a secondary suffix along with the position of the carbon atom, right? So this will be the general idea about the IUPAC nomenclature of the common compounds. I hope you understand. So in chemistry, when you are asking about the primary, it can be represented as 1, 0. I mean, above the 1, it is giving a 0, it will be stands for primary. If you are taking 2, 0, it will be secondary, right? So do you have any doubt in the case of, okay, this is a summary here. If you are having alkanes, it will be single CC bond. Okay, we will discuss it later. So alcohol means OH group, right? Alcohol means OH group. ROH is the general formula. Aldehydes means CHO group. RCHO. Similarly, if you are having C double bond group, it will be known as ketone. If you are having functional group COOH, it will be carboxylic acid. So these terms we will be discussing little in the next class. So again, this question is also based on the functional groups only. Once you get the idea about the functional group, we can practice this question also. So do you have any doubt in the naming of the general compounds? Okay, do you understand about the naming of compounds? So we have just discussed about the naming of general compounds. The next class we will be discussing about the terms of functional groups also, like alkane, alkene and alkyne. Similarly, any of the functional groups like alcohol, aldehyde and so on. So then only you will get the exact idea about the naming of the compounds. So only for today you need to focus on the first naming of the first few general compounds. Then we can come about the higher level. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the session. If you really like the session, hit the like button, share this our channel and share this particular classes to your friends also, and subscribe our channel Infinity Learn 9 and 10 channel. Then if you want to get the session PDF here, you can join our Telegram channel Infinity 9 and 10 Telegram channel. Okay, after completing the nomenclature, I will be discussing the isomerism once again. No need to worry. So after getting idea about the nomenclature only, you will get an idea about the isomerism, how to write down the isomers of the compounds, different compounds. So I will discuss later also. So before coming to the next session, you will be having idea about the naming of functional groups. Just go through your NCERT textbook, then it will be easy for you. So thank you so much all of you. See you in the next class. Bye-bye.
Okay.